on here tonight, and definitely share with others. And if you've connected to Periscope, share it throughout your Twitter to say, join us, because I am getting ready to go. If you notice the title that was put out, it is, Can I Have Now and Later? Is that greedy? So we're going to talk about that in the relationship. It's now and later. Is that really being greedy in your relationship? So we're gonna that's our title for tonight, but we're gonna cover a few little things before we jump right into talking about that message, because I do want to give you a little history on what Relationship Service Station is. It began 2 years ago in 2014. We got Relationship Service Station going, and it began as only an audio concept. So now 2 years later, we're adding the video concept because, of course, Periscope is here. We're live. We're going to interact. You can do your Q&A questions and jump on and actually interact. So that is a wonderful part of it. And so I am looking for that live interaction component, so that way I can make sure that we're covering the things that you want to know and you want to hear about. So first of all, think about Relationship Service Station. I want to think about it, and that's a hashtag Relationship Service Station. So if you want to tweet or want to share it with anybody else, make sure you're using that hashtag throughout the rest of the night, hashtagging Relationship Service Station. But I want you to think about, and some of you all might be younger than I am, so you don't even remember these type of gas stations, but old school gas stations where they had a market, where they had a auto shop next to it, and they actually had full service where people came out. And right about this time of year, we would love a full service gas station where somebody actually came out and pumped our gas, cleaned our windows, and checked our fluids while it was cold, so we wouldn't have to do those things. That's what an old school gas station used to do. So think of Relationship Service Station as an old school gas station, because what that means as an old school gas station, we got a market. So that means in the market, we're there to feed you physically, mentally, and emotionally, to help provide the fuel that you need so that your relationship can make it to the next stop. And of course, it's not enough fuel to make it forever. It's to help you get to the next stop. Wonderful part about Relationship Service Station, we are not a brick and mortar building, so you have to come visit us at a particular place. You can visit us on the World Wide Web, on various social medias, and at the end I will tell you about and provide those different social medias. I shouldn't say I should give my husband the credit, because he'll be actually typing those different places in, because I'm not very good at doing all the little texty stuff and talking at the same time. It's a little distracting for me. So when you see messages from at Mike it playing, and he will be posting, and he will keep it plain and very simple, probably a lot more than me. And I know I'm probably talking fast, so if you're live with me and I'm talking a little fast, just say pump your brakes. So if you do that, just say pump your brakes, and that'll make it a lot easier where I can just slow down, because we're not in a hurry to get to any particular place. We just want to make sure everybody is here and actually being able to interact as they would like to. So welcome to Relationship Service Station. Whether it's your first time in here or you've made it to one of the other relationship service stations in the audio format, I am glad that you are here tonight. And I had no one say they couldn't hear me, so I'm glad that we have really good reception as well. So now I want us to really jump into that message and put a little fuel in it, because when I think about now and later, a lot of people say that's being greedy, because you want it all. You want something now, you want something later. But it reminds me again of a candy reference. I'm gonna talk about old school. I don't know if they even make that candy anymore. Now and later, it came in flavorful variety of colors, and if you got a little southern twang, it just sounded out like now laters. And you really didn't even know it was and in there. We would just roll everything together. It'd be now later. So as I got older, I realized it was saying now and later. So it was kind of trying to tell you, you can have some of your candy now and save it to later. So you would be saving it and savoring it and to enjoy it later. Because once you got one, you wanted to eat the whole pack. And it's all right to be that way in your relationship, because you always want to savor and want each other. You don't want to ever have to the point that you telling your mate always later, later, later. That is not the type of relationship that you want. So when you think about it, the now or laters, it is not greedy. It is not greedy. No, it is not. Because one thing that I will tell you, time is not promised to anyone. And every time somebody says later, something happens before later gets here. And the only problem with that is you have put it off and you've never got to accomplish those things together. So one of the things we don't like to talk about is time not being promised. But the thing is, we have this mentality in our society that we will wait. We will wait on the perfect circumstance. We will wait on the perfect situation before we do something. And in our relationship, a lot of times we are creating self-sabotaging habits by doing that, putting everything off to later. I'll give you an example, tell you a little story actually on how I started my business, but it did not begin as marriage maintenance. It actually began as once in a lifetime celebrations. That's how this at OLTC celebrations came about that you see here on Twitter, because it started out really as just a date night component where I was an event coordinator, but my primary niche was doing date nights. So that is where I began at OLTC celebrations. And it began that way because time became not promised. And I was actually doing that into honor, because I had a spouse that passed, but I was very blessed that I have a new spouse who loves me. And we believe in the concept that time is not promised and we live every day to the utmost. So that's a blessing, because you're supposed to be living every day. So when you think about things that are not promised, we have this thing and we talk about retirement. When I retire, I'm going to be able to travel the world. When I retire, I'm going to be able to buy all the things that I want to when I retire. But now, have you ever thought about you'll be at a certain age and a lot of people work a lot of hours, and a lot of times they don't even retire till they get bad health situations. So they miss out on all the living, waiting to what they expected was going to happen later. So that's why I say now you need to take advantage of. I wrote this article a while back in, let me see when it was, last summer, June 2015. And I said in the middle of marriage is one of the greatest things, because I said others of us spend a lifetime speaking, my latter will be greater, which is a promise of God. But we miss out on the great that God provides on a daily basis when all we focus on is the end of the voyage. So after the I do, no matter one's traditions or practices or what time zone one resides, the middle is where the journey is the best, because that's where you exist right now. Right now is where the journey is that you have to deal with. And I'm sure you can still get this copy of this magazine. It's called Legacy in the Making, and that was the June 2015 issue. So I'll put that out there, let you see again, Legacy in the Making, and look at there with me on the cover. But so in the middle, that's the now that you're living in. Absorb and enjoy your present moment. That is always very important. Okay, so what I want you to do, I want you to create a list of things that you and your spouse together have agreed to put off doing together, or that you've just never spoke because you figured it wasn't the right time, or later. How we say, oh, well, we're not going to renew our vows to 25 years. We plan this big, extravagant occasion for the 25th anniversary. Or we've planned this wonderful trip, and it's only appropriate because that's what the world says after we've been married so long. Or the world says you can't upgrade. You're not supposed to get this until these different times of the year. Do the things that you enjoy to do and live in your relationship. Live in your relationship. Enjoy the now. The now allows you to connect, because waiting till later sometimes creates a bigger distance between you and your mate because you're not having that regular connection. So whatever it is, list the things you have put off together. List them. However long your list is, you probably have come up with some things that you really have been putting off that you don't have to. Now, on the other side of that list of things, you're going to write the real reason why. Not all of the excuses that you made up. The real reason why. Now, if all your reasons for everything in the world you can't do because you don't make enough money, That means you have a dream list anyway, because all of those things are way beyond your financial expectations right now. However, that means you should be able to find some way around that. But if you all want to talk about that, you all can definitely email me at info@marriagemaintenance.info, and that'll be posted later within the message, just so you can catch that address of the email, and we can talk about some other things that you can do to be flexible and be free so that you can live within your now list. So we talked about retirement, or when you get a certain age. Those are the things that hinder us a lot of times from reaching our now. But I don't want those to be your excuses anymore tonight, because I want you all to connect, truly connect as a couple. And what you need to do is communicate and stop putting off things. Stop putting off things because the world says they're inappropriate. Stop putting off things because people say you have to be a certain age to enjoy that. Stop putting off things because other people have become distractions. Stop putting off things because you've allowed other people to be more important than your relationship. Stop putting off things because you've made the church more important than your relationship or any organization that you're in. Your marriage is your first ministry. If you all had an opportunity to listen to Wives Wednesday last night, I was talking about putting on the wife hat. And what that means to me is that means you have to know when it's time to cut everything out. It doesn't mean that's my bedtime. That just means it's the time that we choose to make our time. It's not about having a date night every night. It's not about going to the movies. And it's definitely not at 9 o'clock talking about us eating dinner, because we've already had dinner together. But we had dinner together with our child, with our daughter. So that wasn't our time, that was family time. So now that's what you have to do in the now. Every day practice putting on that hat on a full-time basis. Now, when we talk about later, and as I read to you in that article, we love as Christians to talk about how our later will be greater. And we say, Father, rain on us, rain on us. And that is beautiful, very beautiful, because that I believe that my latter is going to be great. But at the same time, I'm going to make my now so good. My now is going to be so good so that when my later does come, it is going to be way beyond the expectations of what I could ever see, whatever I could ever think of. I'm going to actually allow God to be God in my life and make it greater. But what we do, we planned it out, how great that it can be, and that we limit ourselves. So stop limiting yourselves to what great can be. Great can be beyond that. So live and enjoy the now so that later can be good. That is what I want you to do. And the thing about recognizing your now, if you didn't catch the webinar that we did earlier, and my husband actually talked for a few moments, and I know that's like a big secret because he's not really a talker, but he gave a little input on developing the marriage map and some of the things that were really important to him, because that was a assignment, developing the marriage map. So hopefully some of you all who are on this call actually have taken the opportunity to develop your marriage map, because that identifies where you are now, and then it allows you to implement some everyday stops within your relationship so you can enjoy the living. So I encourage you to do that. If you did not have an opportunity and you have no idea what I'm talking about on the marriage map, please send me an email. And that email address went out at info@marriagemaintenance.info. So please send me an email, or you can send me a direct message via Twitter at where we are now at OLTC Celebrations, which you can send me, and I will definitely give you some instructions on developing that map, because I definitely want you to identify where you are in your relationship to make it better, to make it greater. Though that is always the ultimate goal of your relationship, is to make it better, to make it greater. So saying that, we've already connected, we've already communicated. Now what it takes is the commitment, because a lot of times we become selfish. That's what the difference between greedy is. We become selfish, and because we've received something now, we do not wait to get our greater later, because you was like, well, I figured this was the best that I was going to get right here. So you move forward. That is called becoming selfish. If you are improving constantly, that means your mate is improving. That means your later will definitely get greater. So don't become so selfish that you want everything right now just so you can leave. You're getting the now so that you can even enjoy the later more. And that was OLTC Celebrations, and that was at OLTC CELEBRATIONS. If you want to direct message me, and that is how we joined up here on Twitter. And again, I said you could email me at info at marriage MARRAIG and maintenance MAINTENANCE. And hey, I'm doing pretty good because I can't see anything, so I'm just trying to making sure I got my spelling in check. So we do. And the thing I want you to know about Relationship Service Station, we are there for your now and your later. But for your now, I want you to identify in your relationship where you are right now. And I have put out some couples assessments. I am encouraging you to take advantage of that opportunity to get a couples assessment. And all you have to do is send me an email, and I'll get that email out again at info@marriagemaintenance.info to get your couples assessment. And in the subject line, just put couples assessment, and then I will send you the invoice so that you can get the link. What that couples assessment tells you is where you are now, so that you can be progressing toward a better later, so that you can enjoy the now. A lot of times I see on Facebook, we put people that have been in a relationship for such a long time, but we don't really understand the status and the information that goes around in their relationship. I know personally a couple who has been married probably over 60 years now, but they cannot tolerate each other. So is there a point where just because we've been together, we just stay together and we become roommates? And that's not what I want anybody to become. I want you to become reconnected, refueled, and recommitted in your relationship. So I definitely don't want you to just be like, I'm committed because I'm stuck because I've been here so long. I don't want anybody to ever feel stuck and that their marriage vehicle is not moving along the journey. So if there is anybody here that wants to ask questions, because I haven't seen any questions go across the screen on our Periscope, and I hadn't seen any questions go across the screen on the live chat here on the stream. So if there are no questions, I'm going to continue on, because one of the things that we always talk about, and people talk about when people are greedy, we talk about because we always want more. But define the reason and the why do you want more. Is it you want more just for yourself, or is it you want more for your relationship? So the difference is it being selfish is because you're wanting it for just yourself, for your own personal gratification. But now when you're talking about because you want the whole to do better, because you want the journey to improve, because you want a better marriage, those are the reasons that it is not considered to be greedy. Those are the things that you do want for your relationship. You want to have more time together. You want to have more freedom together. So those are the important things about your relationship that you want to make sure those things occur. And like I say, tonight was a very simple message. And if you realize Relationship Service Station is a real casual atmosphere. And if you don't know, Relationship Service Stations is every third Thursday. I'm not a very long-winded person, so you don't have to really think that you're going to be online with me a very long time. I try to get in and get out. So, but what I want you to know is I do webinars, and those webinars are second Saturdays, and they are live streamed via YouTube. And those are a little bit longer, more than 15-20 minutes, because I want to actually explain and get some keys across when we do those webinars on second Saturdays. If you all heard me, second Saturday. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is Marriage Maintenance. You get access to the second Saturday information plus Wives Wednesday. That is one way to stay connected to us. When I was talking about earlier in this session about staying fueled, so as part of the market, we pour into on Wives Wednesday, we pour into Wives. It's about the woman in the mirror, becoming our best self. And then beyond Wives Wednesday, we actually have a Talk Tuesday that's being posted on Facebook now. You don't have to subscribe to anything. All you have to do is just check out Facebook. And I usually post it on my personal page, which is Courtney, and that is CORTNE. And I post it on the business page, which is also Marriage Maintenance. All you have to do for all of this is either hashtag Marriage Maintenance or hashtag Wives Wednesday, and it will bring you to everything that's been put on Facebook, Twitter, and it will bring you up to the YouTube channel. So definitely go and subscribe and share, because that's how you stay connected and stay fueled here at the Relationship Service Station. We pour into you. So that is how between now and next Thursday, you stay fueled up so you don't wind down for the month between this next Thursday and the next one. Now, if you did not want to post questions live or post them via the net because you didn't want anybody to know who they came from, what you can do is, as I said, you can direct message me at OLTC Celebrations, or you can email me at info@marriagemaintenance.info, or you can text your questions to the phone number 678-905-3550. And I think all those things have scrolled through the periscope, so those messages are there if you want those phone numbers or that other contact information. But always what I want to leave you with, I want to leave you with two things. Now and later is not greedy, because time is not promised. So take advantage of the time that you all have together every day. Stay connected, stay in communication, and definitely stay committed to doing the work in the relationship. Because I don't care what anybody tell you, marriage is work, but it's you choose to make it either hard work or enjoyable work. If you both work together, it makes the process a lot easier. And the later is gonna be greater than your now. So always remember that. If now is good, later is going to be greater. So the later will be beyond your expectations. Thank you for joining Courtney, the Master Relationship Mechanic. And if you all choose to, you can join my husband at Mike at Plain, because he actually posts some of the Relationship Service Station messages, some really good messages. So those come out daily, and he posts a lot more than I do on Facebook. And it comes out on Twitter if you want to join his handle at Mike at Plain. Thank you for joining us from all the different places. I await for you all's questions, and definitely if you need any prayers over your marriage, because before we go to bed we have a list that is in our Bible. We pray for our relationships and other people's relationships to make sure they are being strengthened. I pray that your relationship turns out to be the best relationship it can ever be. Everybody is growing every day and becoming the best person, so they can be the reflection of what they want to see in their relationship. Thank you. And I will see you again on the YouTube Marriage Maintenance Station.